Hey artists, how's it going? This is Mark here, going to show you some more Voxel Buddy Pro fun stuff to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a logo. This is my logo. It was designed originally for video games, so that's why it looks like some pixel blocks. Very nice. Alright, so we're going to add in all the things that we want. We want a solid. This is going to house our effect on it. We're just going to throw Voxel Buddy Pro right on it right away. Effect Voxel Buddy Pro. We're not going to keep it that way though, because we need to add a couple of things. We want a camera to make it more. We're going to add in light, so I need a camera, and we're going to add in a light of a point light. Yeah, pretty dope. And then we're going to also throw in a cube, and just so you know, we want to be under Cinema 4D for this because we're going to be drawing out, yeah, whatever, it seems to keep changing over to advanced. We're changing this over to Cinema 4D. Yeah, that's fine. It won't be able to render the cube. I don't need it to render the cube because what we're actually trying to do with it is make it invisible anyway. So we take the black solid. We say, hey, use that cube. That's a great 3D cube. I want to use that to design all my stuff. And then we go over to the logo. We're going to hide it, and we're going to use that logo as our layer to, you know, put some pizzazz into our thing. And we want the voxel color to be the original one. So yeah, we got the white and orange there now. And we want to put this on the Z, because Z is the direction that is pointing towards us. And we're, instead of being a gradient, we're going to go for solid. Alright, and then we're going to make this 200%, and that fills the whole logo inside the cube. So, you might be like, oh dang, mesh. The cube size, we're going to go 500 by 500, and that'll make the logo the correct dimensions, but it's pretty deep, so we're going to make that like 100. There we go. So now we have this great logo, and I want its position, so we're going to copy that, apply it to the point light, and now we have the point light illuminating our 3D mesh that we can now rotate and be like, look at that. Look at that aerogel looking logo, right? It's pretty snazzy. We can do some cool things with it to make this logo have more depth and such. We'll go into here, and if we do shadow mix, see how it like blends away with the where the light point is. We need to go into the light point and do some fun nifty things. So I wanted shadow, and if we go to advanced, see how shadow disappears? Don't like that. But if we go to Cinema 4D, the shadow comes back, and now we can actually play with the shadow settings. This is why I went to the C4D instead of classic or whatever other render options. The fall off, we can say on or off. I always like to keep it on, and if we change this to smooth, we can now have a lot of control. So let's make this a really harsh cutoff. And now if I shrink this, it'll hide my logo and come out in a sphere-like motion that point lights are. That's pretty dandy, but we need some more color from my stuff. Let's increase the step count of my thing, maybe the density. Ooh, look at that, it's getting a little thicker. And the brightness even. And see how it's really pushing that hot spot of where the light is? That's great and all, but I like to keep it very subtle, so usually keeping that at a 1 is fine, and we will change the point light to be brighter if we want some more. We're still getting that hot spot though. Maybe if we pull the light back a little bit. Oh, not that way. Back. Yeah, there we go. It'll kind of work with it. Anyway, so this is my logo getting illuminated from within. I don't know if this is helpful to anybody or not. We can throw it over the checkered background so you can see it. It is kind of dark. We can increase my colors back in. Color bias, and that doesn't actually change anything. Step count, brightness. We can increase the brightness, so solid gas blend if I make it more solid. If I had more lights, it would also actually help too. We can do something about that, but since I want to do just like a point light reveal, we're gonna take the radius, go down, and keyframe, move it in, keyframe radius out, and there's my logo aerogel style. And we can soften up the edges if you like it to be a little smoother as it's coming out, you know. And if we really want, see how it's black? There shouldn't be any black there. Let's get rid of the shadow mix. No, the shadow mix helps get rid of it. What can I do to really help hide that? Oh, well, you can always do stuff like this, where you go to the mode and say like multiply. Oh, sorry. Normal. Oh, you can change your blending method, and that could help blend it into whatever scene you have behind it. Without anything there, we're not really doing much. But we have that, and because this is a cube and we can animate that, we can have my logo turn in from nothing, you know, right around here. Orientation, blend it over, get my logo front and center. And then we could throw in an ambient light. That might be cool. New layer, ambient light. Light. Throw in an ambient light. And that should even out my light completely. And we can turn off the point light at that point. And there it is in the regular mode. And I know we wouldn't have the animation happen if we did it that way only. So, all the way down to nothing, please. Boom. Comes in. Come on, white light. I know you have some animation. Oh, I did it over here. Delete. Come in. And if we want to feather it off, we can still just add a regular effect to feather that in. Effect. Fast box blur. Fast box blur. My favorite blur. See, we can blur it in normal style. Boom. Comes in. And then we can remove that. And then it comes all the way into a front face. We're happy with the light, so we're like intensity bam. You know, maybe at this point. And then we throw in the ambient light that we got rid of because I undid that. Not adjustment layer. Okay. Did I just add an adjustment layer? Yes, it did. Good times. Layer, new. Light. Ambient light. And when it's at this point, which is the other light fully hits in, we're going to take our ambient light intensity down to 0, boop, and then go 100, and then we take this one and say near, and then that kind of does this whole, well, that's not great. Why are you, oh, because you're at negative something. I'll make you 0. There you go. Now we have a really ugly logo animation. But you see the potential of things you could do with this. It's not about what I'm doing here. It's about what you could do. And I think that's the important thing to think about when doing these kind of little test trials or things that we're working on. So we're trying to improve the look of everything. Okay, I'm getting weird edges just because we're at like, yeah, when we cut down the blend. See how it's downsampling? When I'm dragging, it's kind of downsampling the inner of my block. But if we render this out, it would be totally fine. Bam. Look at that. Just a nice, easy blend in. It's not the greatest animation in the world, but it gives you an idea of how to use this product to do something different than what you might think. Alright. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will try to post more often. I was hoping for once a week, but it's looking almost like every other week at this point. I will do my best to get more out there. Good luck, artists, and have fun making cool stuff. All right, bye.